If you own a business, maybe you have a service or a product, or you're a coach or a consultant and you're watching this training, then you understand that video has become an important part of marketing. And if you're a professional, then your videos should also reflect that. That's what this free training is all about. I'm gonna go over how we can set up a small recording space in your own home or in your office so that you can start creating high quality videos for your business. First, let's pick a location. Today, I'm filming in my spare bedroom that I use as my office. As you can see, it's a pretty small space, around 120 square feet. And despite it being such a small room, we can still add a professional flair to this setup. When picking a spot to film, you'd ideally want to be further away from your background and not directly up against it. You want to be far enough away that you don't cast a shadow on your background, since it can be a bit distracting. A good rule of thumb is to be about 5 feet away or more from your background if possible. So grab your phone or camera and take your time scouting a nice location within your space to film your videos. Now, a key aspect for this setup is going to be our filming desk. I'll be using this adjustable height desk that I bought on TikTok and modified with wheels. I highly recommend getting a desk with both adjustable height and wheels so that you can have the choice to sit or stand for your videos and the mobility to easily move your setup around and take advantage of different backgrounds. Now that we have a spot to film, let's talk about your filming equipment. When it comes to cameras, use what you already have available, which in this case might be your phone, especially when you're starting out. Now, in theory, as you continue to scale your brand and business, you'd want your video quality to be higher. So eventually, over time, you'd want to upgrade to a nice DSLR or a mirrorless camera. In this instance, I'll be using both a phone and a professional camera so that you can get a sense of how both of them look side by side. When it comes to shot composition, although vertical video is incredibly popular, I'd recommend filming horizontally so that you can easily crop the video during the editing process to be used in a vertical format. This way, you can use the footage in any format, whether that be for social media or for other purposes, and have the best of both worlds. You'd want to set up the camera on a tripod at around eye level of where you're going to be sitting or standing, as well as position yourself right in the middle of the frame. Ideally, you'd want to set up your shot so that the bottom of the frame cuts off near your waist and you have a bit of headroom between your head and the top of the frame. Now, regardless of the camera lenses or camera types that you're using, I'd recommend these settings as a general starting point for filming high quality videos. Start off with a 35mm lens with a low aperture, also known as an f-stop, which is signified by the number following the letter F. An f1.4, f2, or f2.8 are all good options to help create a nice cinematic background blur. Now, in terms of camera settings, if you already have a DSLR or mirrorless camera, then these are the standard settings that I'd recommend. At minimum, I'd recommend starting off at 1080p. Or, if you have a large enough memory card and a computer powerful enough to handle it, I'd go with 4K. 24 frames per second is the most cinematic looking, so I'd set your FPS to 24, and when it comes to shutter speed, you'd want it to be double what your FPS is. So in this case, 1/50 is the closest that we can get to double 24 frames per second. And lastly, your ISO. Set it to the lowest numbered ISO possible without the numbers having bars over them. Then set up your primary source of light accordingly. One of the most important aspects of creating professional video content is lighting. It's the difference between your videos looking like this and looking like this. In order to get good lighting for your video, at a bare minimum, you're gonna need a key light and a hair light. The key light is gonna be your primary source of light throughout the video. The key light I recommend is the LED Studio Round Light by Neewer. You'd wanna set it up off to the side at around a 45-degree angle from where you'll be situated and a few feet above your eye line. I'm going to be setting these up with these desk mount stands that I found on Amazon. As for the hair light, this is set up behind you with the light stand to illuminate the back of your head and your shoulders, which adds depth to the shot and it helps separate you from the background. You can set it up high and out of frame, or you could keep it in frame to add ambient lighting to the shot. Now for your hair light, you can get something like this LED corner floor lamp or this Neewer LED video light. In addition to these, you can also get one of these RGB floodlights to add a bit of color to your background and make your videos pop just a bit more. Another incredibly important aspect of professional video is actually the audio. It can make or break your video. The quality of your video can look extremely professional, but if your audio quality sounds like this, it will immediately diminish the finished product and your audience will have a hard time hearing you. Now, if your setup is going to be near a computer or you're going to have a laptop on your desk, then I would recommend getting a USB microphone like a Blue Yeti or an Elgato Wave 3 and capturing audio using a free software like Audacity. Now, another option, if you're not going to be near a computer, is to get a lav mic like this Tascam DR10L that you can simply pin to your shirt and capture audio with that way. And with that, you're done. The final step now is to test everything out and see how your footage turns out. So there you have it. I really hope that you enjoyed this training and you found value from it. All you have to do is start filming. Now, if you need help with scripting, editing, and distributing your videos, or if you simply don't want to go through the hassle of setting it up yourself and would rather have a professional team do the filming, hit us up. We at Turning Point Digital can help. Fill out the form below to schedule your free consultation today.